Mandukya Upanishad. And I think, rather than making it too hard on all of these states and everything, so let's try to just look at that story. So this, have you heard about this king Janaka in Puranas?
Yeah,
I mean, Sita Mata's dad. Yeah.
dad, yeah.
Exactly, right. So,
Sorry, bhai. Sorry,
yeah,
just sorry to interrupt. Just I'm saying, I think the meeting may end in like 7 or 8 minutes, so we can just click on the same link again. Just FYI.
oh, okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Okay, please carry on. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so Janaka, King Janaka is actually regarded as a Brahmajnani or an enlightened one, right? So he is also called as Rajrishi. So Rajrishi means he carries on the duties of the king, right? And he is actually the emperor. But then at the same time, he is an enlightened one who is actually detached and he knows what the Atman, the experience level of Atman is. So before he reached that state, so there is this beautiful story in Mandukya Upanishad wherein once King Janaka went to sleep as usual, right? And then in the middle of the night, his soldiers comes and wakes him up and tells him that there is a surprise attack from the neighborhood king, and then he has come up with a huge army, and then we are under attack. So then King Janaka immediately, calls his soldiers and goes to the war, and then a brutal war happens. And after 8 or 10 days of war, Janaka gets defeated. And then the other king, he says that I want to behead you, but I am not going to take your head off because you have got good name with the people. So what I'll do is that you will have to go out of the country. You will be on exile. So just go out of the country and don't even come back. And then he also gives a proclamation that uh, no food, no water should be given to King Janaka, or nobody should help him, because that will be counted as an act of treason, right? And then whoever is doing that, they will be beheaded. So then King Janaka is being robbed of everything. He just gets that whatever that single robe that he is wearing, and then he is walking barefoot through the kingdom, and nobody is helping because of the fear of the new king. And then he gets absolutely tired from that, the war that happened. And then he walks without food, without water. He's like, he just eats some fruits that were lying there, absolutely tired. And somehow within next 3 4 days, he crosses the boundary to another, country. And then again he walks quite a long time, so he is absolutely tired. He falls down in between for some time. Then finally he reaches a temple where he sees the prasad being given. And then there is a long queue. He stands behind the queue. And then the queue moves forward, forward, forward. And then finally he reaches the place where the food is served. And then he takes the plate, which is like made of the leaf. And at that time, the supplier says that रोटी सब खत्म हो गया, अभी तो सब्जी है खाली, that too a little bit, I can give you a little bit of sabji if that is fine. So he wants something to eat. He says yes, please give that. And then the sabji is given, and then he just takes that with trembling hands. As he is trying to take that to eat, then suddenly an eagle comes and knocks it away, and everything gets on the floor. He absolutely loses it, right? He absolutely loses the control. He has completely, gone crazy at that point of time. He cries quite loud, saying that he just uh, gets onto the sand. He just rolls there. He just rolls on the floor, and then he is crying out quite loud. Then what happens is suddenly the soldiers come and wake him up from his silky bed, right? And then they ask, "Kya hua, Maharaj? Kya hua?" So then he is absolutely shocked by that. That he just wakes up, he sits there, and then he's thinking about it. Then he's asked them, uh, "Ye sach ki wo sach? Is this the truth or that the truth?" Right? So then the soldiers say, no, what are you asking? Did you see any bad dream? He doesn't say anything. He says, ye such, ki wo such. Right? So then the soldiers go and tell the Maharani, she comes, the queen comes, and then she is also not able to figure out. Then the next day, Janaka is not talking about anything else. Whatever, whoever is coming to him, he's just asking, ye such, ki wo such. Right? Then the Guru, Ashtavakra, who is again an enlightened one, he comes and he asks, uh, as soon as he comes, Janaka asks the same question, ye such ki wo such. Right? Then Ashtavakra understood what it meant. So he said, when you were there in the battlefield, right? When you were there along with, when you are getting defeated, when you are in the temple, when you are trying to have some food and water, any of these things were there with you, the kingdom, the queen, even this room, and the ministers. He says no. And when you are here and doing all this, all those things that you saw in the dream, is that with you? He says no, that is not me. So then Ashtavakra says, ये भी सच नहीं, वो भी सच नहीं, जो जानते हैं इसको वो सच है. Right? So if you look at the one that who understands this, right, who was witnessing both these, treat that to be the truth. Right? That's a bit of a deeper Vedanta, but then suddenly I just remember this story, which is about this Swapna state. So, I just thought of telling this because, we have been going through all this, so just thought of telling this story.
So, Hari, my question comes to mind. So, does that mean the person who sees both, or the mind that sees both the dream and the non-dream, is actually the real truth? So, somebody who can take a more step back and have the understand how that everything is happening within the dream and outside the dream, and he can see both the things together, is the real truth. Is that what the interpretation is?
No, somebody who is witness, right? So what happens is that we get entangled the moment we wake up in the morning, right?
Yeah.
We get entangled with the world, right? And then we carry on with our thoughts. If you look at, we absolutely